Okay, so the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have a screenshot, and within that screenshot you're going to have these mini little squares, right, which is going to help you immensely when you do your pixel art. The next thing you need to do is open Finder, Applications, and go into Fusion 360. All right, otherwise I have it on my bottom half of my screen, so I'm going to open it. This might take a while because it is Fusion. If it doesn't open or it freezes, make sure that you reshut it, so force quit it with your right click and reopen it again, because that is usually all it takes to make sure that it opens. All right, so once it's open, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go New Folder. All right, once it's fully loaded, we are going to open a new folder. So on your left-hand side, right, open New Folder, and we're going, or New Project, and we're going to call it Keychain. I'm going to click on that, open it up, close it off at the top there, a little X, and we're going to go File, New Design. All right, make sure we can see the layout grid if it's not open. So go down to the bottom there, we can change the layout. We can go up to the right-hand cube and we can flip it around and move it to wherever we want. You need to make sure it's on top. If it's not on top, it's not going to work. We can also pan, zoom, right, both ways. We can also change a lot of the settings as well, which we're about to do. You can have a look at the mesh, the environment. You can change it from a gray screen to a black screen. But what we want to do is click on the mesh, the grid settings, not the mesh settings, the grid settings. And we're going to do fixed, and we're going to change it to 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters by 1, and that way we're going to get the perfect sized keychain without taking too much trouble. Okay, we've got 2 millimeters wide and 1 millimeter. Then we're going to make sure we zoom so we can see a clear grid pattern. You might have it larger, you might have it smaller, depending on your eyesight and depending on your level of ability. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a look up the top here at all the different settings. All right, we can press create. Sketch will be the first one we're going to use, so create. All right, but there's a bunch of others. We can go press pull, we can put rectangles, circles, we can fillet edges, draft. All we're going to be using for this task is 2 tools. One of them is the line tool, so once we click on our page, we click on the line tool. We make sure that we can see our screenshot on the side, so we can see all the little squares, which is going to help us draw with the line tool. And all we're going to do is start off with a section that we know, draw the amount of pixels, so each square is worth 1 of your pixels on your screen, and then continue drawing the outline. So you're going to click, pull it to the 3 squares, go up, cross is what I'm doing, and then I'm going to go down. All right, if it unclicks at some point, you just make sure that you repress the line tool and you keep drawing. All you have to do is make sure it connects with the little circle and you'll be on the same level. If you don't connect with that little circle when you're about to start to draw, it will not work. Okay, so make sure that you have that little dot and click on it and just keep going around until you get the complete outline of your pixel. Alright, all you have to do is go around the whole outside of your pixel. The next bit I'm going to show you some troubleshooting. But as you can see, I'm just continuing drawing around, but if I stuff up at any point, alright, again, if I stuff up at any point, so when I go back to my line tool, alright, I've just reopened it, go back to my line tool, and now it's connected to the middle. And all I want to do now is go undo, because if I don't have something I like, I'm always going to press undo. Just like in Word, you're going to press undo. All right, and then continue going around the outline. And if I accidentally stuff up again or go up on a corner instead of going straight across like I'm doing now, I've accidentally done like a little mini curve. All right, just go straight back, press escape, all right, lose the selection tool, and then just go backwards. Undo, undo, undo. Click on the line tool again and make sure that you click on that dot and can continue on with that. All right, until you get the complete outline. Okay, so now we have the full on screen. So when you know it's done is when it has all connected and you have this little pastel. So I'm going to finish sketch in the right hand corner, click on the middle, press create, then go to extrude, click on them, it'll turn blue. If it hasn't, then click on them again, and I'm going to increase him up, so make him 10 millimeters up. All right, so and you know when it's worked when you press the little cube up the top and you can go to the home screen and you can see it enlarge. Alright, so once we have our three-dimensional character, this is the completed one. We're going to add all these extra features, as you can see, which is what I'm pointing to. All these extra little features on top we're going to add. So, I've already done this. I'm going to flip back so you can see this little timeline across the bottom, and you can see how I made absolutely everything along my little keychain. Okay, and I keep going flipping back. Along here you can see all the little sketches, all the little pulls I've done, and you can even edit features, which is what I'm showing you right now. Alright, we keep flicking back. Alright, you can drag the whole thing across. I'm just showing you all the little parts I've done. I've done a lot of work in this. Alright, I've had students who've only done 2 or 3 and it looks perfect as well. But if you want to get a good grade, you need to make sure that you do a lot of detail. So I'm going to show you how to do the little mouth so you can see it up and on. Alright, I'm showing you. Alright, the first thing you need to do is press the top. We're going to create a sketch. Alright, we're going to click on the actual main thing we're clicking on, so we need to make sure that we're on the right level, and we're going to draw a line just like we would when we did the other bit. Okay, and now we're working on the top of this. Okay, and you know when you've got it completed, so when you press finish sketch and you go to extrude again, alright, you click on him. Right, you raise it up to about 3 millimeters. You can have anywhere between 0 and 5. I'm going to do 2, and as you can see, my little mouth, 1 would have looked good too. All right, so as you can see, you can even do half as well, and you can see his mouth is extruded. All right, if I want to work on top of this little piece and add another layer, I need to make sure I click on the actual mouth. So he's actually highlighted. See, the blue is where I'm working on. So I want to work on the mouth. So I'm going to click on the blue, and I'm going to press the line tool, and I'm going to draw on top of the mouth. If I don't do this, I'm going to have this whole middle air happening. So you make sure that you click and it's blue, or the area that you want to work in. So I'm going to extrude just a little like tooth, and I'm going to put like 1 or 2 or 3. All right, and now you can see along the edge, it looks completely ridiculous. So then I would go back and I would modify it. All right, so create sketch, and now I'm going to show you on one more thing. So you do this for the whole thing. All right, I'm going to show you how to do 2 sketches at a time. So if you end up doing 2, you want to do 1 at a time. But if you have things that are all at the same level, so all at 1 level, so say I'm going to increase the feet here, the little shoes, to 1. So all I'm doing is drawing a line to make a little component for it. I'm going to press finish sketch. I'm going to go back to extrude. Right, or you can go to press pull. I'm going to press the shift button on my computer, and I'm going to hold it down while I press all the areas that I want to enlarge. And as you can see, I did 2 at the same time. All right, and once I've done that, I'll do the rest of it, and I'm going to increase until I finish with a complete product that you can see right here. You can see all the different layers I've done. All the complete. I'm going to use my orbit tool, and now you can see I've got these little lines in the side of it, and what happens there is that they won't print properly. So we need to go into the bodies and have a look. I have, oh god, 10 bodies here, so I need to make sure that there isn't. So the easiest way to do that, right, is to extrude it down and then extrude it back up again. As you can see, there's plenty of these little lines that I need to get rid of. So I'm going to press select. I'm going to click on the area that I wanted to extrude down. As you can see, there's even more lines. All right, I'm going to work on his little ear. Going to press the press pull or extrude, and I'm going to extrude it down by about 2 millimeters, so minus. I'm going to push it back down into the body, and then I'm going to extrude it back up again. So I push it down by 2 millimeters. I'm going to extrude it by either 2 or 3 up, depending on what I want. And as you can see, there's no more lines. So you need to do that for all those extra bodies. All right, you can also press the shift button and hold down certain sections of that one body and make sure that it is connected to the full body. Okay, so the last thing we have to do is we're going to print. So what we needed to do was to click on the file, print, as 3D print. We're going to click on the selection, make sure you select all of him. All right, so should only be one body now, so we see all of him is selected. He's all going to print pretty well. We're going to unselect the center 3D printer, and we're going to press OK. And this is going to save as an STL file, as you can see, so give it your name. Save it onto your desktop, and then hand it into the teacher. Okay, so again, it's file, print as 3D print. Right, unselect the printer, select him to make sure he's completely covered, and then file, and then save. So press OK, and that's it. You're done. Make sure you save any changes, and you'll get your print.